weekend host to make the highly coveted Talkers Heavy 100 list of top radio shows in America. Now, back to Aaron Klein.
So, I don't like going into the past. The only reason we're sort of doing that now is because it is the present, and it pretends the future. In fact, here we are in 2019, headed into the presidential election. We've got the Democrats in full control of the House. And what do they do with it? They obfuscate. They make sure that Trump can't carry out his agenda. Instead of, you would think, trying to do whatever they can to work in a bipartisan manner to pass legislation for, let's say, jobs, for border security or whatever, nothing. Instead, but what they're doing is taking it to a new level. I mean, they're disgracing the concept of Congress, in fact. I mean, they're using Congress to hold an impeachment charade by Adam Schiff, who needs to be called in to testify himself, as I talked about in the first hour repeatedly, how the guy's a total fact witness from start to finish. And so what we're doing now in tracing back the Russia hoax, the dossier, we've got even Lindsey Graham, who, again, I'm sorry to say, did cheer on John McCain to give the dossier to James Comey. We need to make sure in 2020 that things change massively, or we're going to be putting the Russia hoax and the Ukraine hoax on steroids, and we're not going to get anything done. And why does all of this tie together? Joshua Klein of this radio show on Breitbart.
Yes, all this is critical. I mean, up until this point, all this may sound just like, some interesting tidbits from a book, but this comes full circle to what's going on with the impeachment and what the ramifications of that are going to be. First of all, on the show, we heavily warned, going into 2018, the importance of why it's important to keep the House, because for sure this was going to happen. I mean, they were saying literally from day one, and I mean literally from day one, from when Trump was inaugurated, that they are the resistance. They are going to impeach him. They're going to do whatever they can to, destroy his agenda, which is the America First agenda. And unfortunately, that America First agenda also, there's a lot of, let's just say, rhinos, the term you used before, that aren't fully on board with it. I mean, so right now you have a situation where Trump, rightfully so, has a 97% approval rating with the Republican Party. And because he's doing such an amazing job, and the Republicans, in fact, there was a poll even this week where I believe Republicans literally see him as a greater president than Lincoln. It's just a poll, and take it for what it is. But there is an establishment. Let's not forget it. It's not just the Democrats, that are out for, Trump and to destroy his agenda. There are, as you mentioned before, I hope Lindsey Graham really has changed his colors, but unfortunately, even as of, I believe, like a month or two ago, for example, with the pullout of literally 50 troops from Turkey,
Syria.
From Syria, that was guarding the Syria-Turkish border. Graham literally changed on a dime in 180 on Trump and exploded on him and, said you'll go down as the worst president in history if you don't do this. In the end of the day, I mean, agree or disagree with his decisions, he is the commander-in-chief, and, it's not Lindsey Graham's place to, speak out in such a way. I mean, it's a free country. You can speak out however you are, but it just goes to show you the nature of a lot of these, establishment Republicans when it comes to, issues that don't jive well with their establishment agenda versus more the America First agenda, which is more populist, pro-worker, pro-American as much as possible, pro the small man. So there are competing interests here. So anyway, getting back to why...
Yeah, let's get it back, because the Syria thing is a little bit different, and actually it was a huge national security threat, let me just say, and Iran would have filled the void, and even I was screaming to the hilltops that he definitely should leave U.S. contingent there. You can pull some of them out, but this endangers the Kurds, who are great allies, and to cut and run like that, it endangers Israel. Iran will fill the void. So Lindsey Graham, in that case, was, speaking out as he should, because this was something that Trump understood a little bit later. He's probably not the best thing for American national security, but yes, he can turn on a dime. And so in 2020, there needs to be a massive strengthening of the base and a take back of the House.
Yeah, so exactly. So right now with the impeachment, I mean, obviously it's not going to happen, and they need 20 Republicans in the Senate for that ever to happen. But trust me, there's going to be some, leverage that's going to be used to guarantee those 20 people aren't, going to go rogue. And I'm afraid that some of that is going to kind of interfere with the continuation of the America First agenda. So that's why it is so critical to, again, and we talked about it in 2018, but now 2020, if Trump were to be reelected, I mean, after all this shenanigans, after everything they've tried to throw at him with every scandal under the roof and nothing sticking, the Republican Party staying unified, if in 2020 the Republican Party, which is unified now and hopefully will stay unified and come out in full force to vote for him to give him another mandate, I mean, 3.5 years, as Bill Barr even said himself, was literally, taken away from President Trump by these investigations. And yet, on the other hand, he literally accomplished, it's unbelievable what he accomplished. Again, then I'll bring up that poll where some people literally think he's as good as a president as Lincoln. So I'm hoping those people and other people will definitely not miss voting day and come out and vote strong, get other people, because especially what's on the other side. I mean, it's a very binary election this year. I mean, the other side is, literally,
they're socialists. They're Marxists. Forget about it. They're literally holding their hands, all of them. And when they're asked about free healthcare for illegal aliens and open borders, if Donald Trump doesn't win in 2020, then we are looking really, and it is not alarmist to say this, we are looking at the end of America as we know it. If, heaven forbid, one of these radical Democrats were to take over in 2020, we are looking at the open fundamental transformation of America beyond Obama's wildest dreams, because Obama had to lie to everybody and say, oh, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your insurance plan. He had to speak in these platitudes of transforming America without saying what they want. Well, this crop of Democrats, they say exactly what they want. They want open borders. They want basically socialism inside the United States of America. And they hate the United States and what it stands for. They want to transform it into Cuba, into Venezuela. And that's what's going to happen in 2020 if the Democrats get their way. Joshua Klein, thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody for tuning in this weekend and every weekend. Be sure to follow me at Twitter at Aaron Klein Show. Be sure to follow me at my column in the Jewish Press. And, of course, read every single day at Breitbart. Talk to you all next weekend. תסתכל, גם הלירדי מסביב